Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another match of Invite against Froyotech, the undefeated team, and the Cell, one of the teams that really do need a win here to kind of get themselves back in that playoff race. I am Marmalou, and I'm here with Jamond. How are you doing?
Yo, it's your boy. I'm doing phenomenal, man. I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful Wednesday, beautiful camel day. You know how I do, bro.
Oh yeah, you ready for this match?
Bro, I'm absolutely ready. You already know, bro.
Oh yeah, you keep that energy on the map 50 of Sultry, or minute 50 of Sultry. Another stalemate. But running into this match, do you want to take away one of the rosters? Your choice.
Shoot, let me go ahead and get the cell, man. Where we got Soar and Big Raven on Scout, Greg and High Five on Soldier, with Bingo on Demo, and Jay Honey Pie on Medicinal Man.
It's a solid roster. Definitely in other seasons, probably like a top 2-3 team, but they chose the wrong one to come together. But on the other side, Froyotech with Banny and Brandslam on Scout, Laz and Patty on Soldier, Habib on Demo, and Hubada on Medic. That kind of reigning champion type squad running it back for this season and the upcoming 2 lands that are happening this summer.
Dude, and what's really interesting too about both of these teams, or at least like when it comes to the cell, is like some of the people that I didn't think would be playing high invite are playing high invite, and it just makes me so happy to see them doing so well. But you know, that just takes time, dedication, working with each other, making sure the synergy was right. I had my doubts, especially about the cell, but I'm very glad how this team is kind of shifting and forming throughout the season, bro.
Yeah, and like past teams have had kind of the newcomers mixed with the old veterans, you know, the old teams like Bot Mode with the original G6, Banny with that one Froyo. It's usually there's a connect across the board where you get the new guys who hit every shot and then the old guys who know what's going on. And usually it's a recipe for success. So far it's been kind of a mixed bag, but the competition has been fierce. And as we said, this is going to be a very, very important match, almost a make or break for the playoffs, because all the other teams really winning the games they should and maybe upsetting makes it really hard for the Cell to come in if they can't do the same. So how are you feeling coming into Sultry of all maps?
You know, I did not expect the Sultry pick, if anything else. I kind of thought that, you know, because I feel Froyotech kind of is just fine with playing typically on any map, I'd say. With the Cell, they kind of felt like they had to be really strategic, and, you know, especially with them getting rid of some of the slower maps like Process, Metalwork, Sunshine, you know, stable mids, pretty narrow, pretty linear in terms of pushing out of mid, pushing out second, but that last push, bro, especially on Metalworks, gets crazy. So it's really interesting to see, you know, them essentially getting those maps out of the way. But I was curious to see that Froyotech actually banned out the Koth maps and then just let it to Sultry. I thought they would have actually been a little bit more in favor of something like a bagel or a product. But maybe there were some mishaps there. I'm not entirely too sure.
I think the main strategy as just a team that is traditionally better is you want to get rid of kind of the fluky maps. Like King of the Hill, some weird off classes, some weird shenanigans can lead to something. That's why we saw a granary ban, a bagel ban, a product ban. That being said, you only have 3, so as the underdog team, most likely you're not going to beat Froyo on those super popular maps like Snakewater, Process. You got to find a map you're either really good at or one that the playing field is kind of equal. A newer map like Sultry is a perfect opportunity for that. That being said, Froyo is definitely no slouch, and historically, Banny teams have been pretty good on the new maps because they do their due diligence, while some other teams kind of just sit around and don't want to play it at all. So hopefully we see some game plans coming together from the Cell, some ideas.
Yeah, some crafting, some inner machinations from the Cell team. That's what I'm really trying to see. But Marmalou, I do have to ask, because you did, you know, talking a little bit about the map here, where it, you know, especially a map like Sultry is going to put both these teams on equal grounds. Do you have any it's a boatload question. Do you have any predictions, and do you have any MVPs for both of these teams? Exactly what's going to come to fruition? You know what I'm saying?
No, there's something that I want to happen and something that probably will happen. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna end up being I'll say a Froyo 5-2. I think the main kind of key player on this is going to be someone like Habib. I was watching some of the scrims, and if you don't keep Habib in check, he will just destroy you entirely while screaming at you the entire time. So if they can't keep Habib intact and like in check, it's going to be over. You can't even enter the server. So with that being said, it's going to be a lot on Greg to pressure Habib without entirely selling out. And especially being one of those newer players, playing against Habib is unlike any other player. Just unpredictable, sometimes makes the wrong plays, but just hits the shots to make that not matter at all. How about yourself? What are you thinking?
5-2. See, and it's interesting because I think on a map like Sultry where everyone's pretty much even. Oh, dang, that shot was crazy. I think on a map like Sultry where everything is pretty even, kind of along the side, I do see it a little bit more in favor of Froyo, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I actually see it somewhat close to a 5-4. I'm seeing a Cell potential win. I feel like the team has talked about this, especially this is one of the bigger matches of their season, of the regular season for sure. I just think they're very much going to be, this is going to be the map where everyone's going to be rather in sync. But I will say that it has to be a hard fight. It's going to be a hard fight, 5-4. Yeah, it's not going to be easy for sure. Hence, the 5-4, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you're expecting a movie on this map. Hopefully it's not a very, very long one. But as we were kind of talking about, this map is new. It hasn't been solved. The last pushes on this map look atrocious. The stalemates often reset to mid, or the team pushing absolutely messes it up and has to try again. And in whatever team can kind of figure out what they want to do is going to really have a heads up on this map and really for their map pool for the rest of the season.
I'm really, and one other thing too, when it comes to the MVP, this may be, at least in terms of the cell, this could potentially be Greg's world. It's like I want to look at Greg, I want to look at Soar, because Soar's been, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna put up Soar. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Soar's world this map. I'm gonna say the discipline is there. He's ready to engage, and he's ready to go ahead and do what he needs to do. And on the side of Froyo, I can really say I'm gonna keep a little Habib. I'm a demo man. I'm a little biased. You know how that go.
You could pick anyone from Froyo and it could happen probably. So Habib definitely Habib will put you in your place if you don't kill him a couple times. But looking forward to seeing how this match kind of pans out. As we are kind of trending towards the end of the season, all the teams have at least played each other once. We're starting to see how the landscape looks and leading into the eventual playoffs with right now, unless this match or there's an upset loss or win somewhere, right now the Cell is fighting for their playoff lives, and said this is a very important match of the regular season. This might be one of their last important matches of the regular season if they can't make something happen.
With the Cell being the underdogs, what do you think are some, I feel like I've asked everyone this question just about, what do you think are some expectations that you would need to see coming out of the Cell to really put themselves on the board? If they really want the chance to solidify a dub for this, especially on Sultry, where, like you and I said, it's going to be pretty even along the line, what do you think they should have to do if you were the coach, per se? You know what I'm saying?
If I was the coach, the main things as an underdog team is you cannot get in your head about this is Froyo. You got to play your game. If you let them play their game, they win. So you have to start it. I'd want to start off the mid fast, keep them on their toes, and make sure your players are comfortable. And once you're ahead, don't get too flustered. Still play your game. Don't try and be the hero. Play your role. But rolling into this first mid, Habib here a lot faster than Zingo, getting early stickies in. High five with the fast roll. A lot of damage on Habib. Habib going down right away to high five is going to set up this mid, and Froyo is going to opt to leave. That being said, leaving on this, it's going to be even Ubers. The Ubers won't be a factor, but with Habib down, they're going to be able to take a 5v5 into 2 with a demo advantage, which means these chokes are going to be a lot easier to come in. Here comes a soldier bomb fading in, the rest of the team kind of flooding forward, taking the ground. Greg going to get killed, and the rest of the Cell kind of backing up and resetting.
So exactly along the, I don't know, man, maybe they're listening to the stream. High five immediately went fast, got some really nice damage on the Habib that made him crater as well. And Greg did get picked off by Patty as well, with a little fake bomb actually going from Patty. High five looking to see if he can solidify the kill. Exactly what's going to happen as well. Player ad is up for the side of the Cell, and probably the same situation again here too. They're probably just going to go ahead and see if we can get a little fake bomb, try to see if we can throw somebody in from a different door, try to get some early pressure, or just wait for the time. And at this point, it looks like we're just kind of getting some comfortable buffs going on, trying to spot some eyes as Greg immediately starts his little fake bomb in with the Raven actually getting picked off in the flank, and Greg getting by the pistol as well. Marmaloo down 2 for the Cell. Froyotech back in the mid.
Oh, Jay instantly want to take the trade with Sword. We're going to get an Uber. The flashes are going to be in favor of the Cell. But with that being said, there are 2 players down for the next 9 seconds. Jay may be in trouble trying to get out of here. There goes Dingo. And it looks like the rest of the cell should be able to get out. Soar very, very weak. Gonna get cleaned up. And a big bomb from high five, not gonna net in a kill. But a risky play not really paying off. If you're taking an aggro trade like that, you need to make something happen, or it is over, as you can see there.
You know, consistent, you know, especially in these pivotal moments where, you know, the cell is definitely trying to fight in certain situations, or they're trying to fight as a team, and it just seems like there's like people dying left and right. And by saying that, you know, one person gets picked off. Speaking of that, Patty actually is in getting some early damage on the Greg, 44 HP, and is going to get picked off by Greg as well as Laz, and Brand Slam with the Sentry Serve gets immediately on him. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. With Froyotech immediately down too. But yeah, that was interesting. It looked like So, you know, was trying to initiate some fights and just trying to save whatever ideally they could salvage, at least trying to keep Jay alive along that line too. They did lose some people, but people being spread out in similar places, you know, it's early. You know how it is. It's early start.
Yeah, and as we were talking about, this last is notoriously tough to break, especially they get the gun down. It looks great, and then Banny goes down, which is most likely going to end up resetting this fight. The whole thing is on a lot of last pushes. You need to get that gun down. Even a level 1 just absolutely destroys the sack from Patty, leading to just another staggered death, where that is going to be another 30 seconds ticked off this clock. And especially with the lower time limit, that clock you can play towards high five with a really late counter sack that is netting an absolutely nothing. And that is, never mind, they get an equalizing kill.
From Spy Kid showing the world that the air is currently in his domain at this point in time. With that being said, yeah, and it looks like we're trying to get the gun. They do manage to get the gun here, going down from Soar. Doesn't look like we're changing anything. I do am seeing Raven on power as well. They do come into the sack, and it looks like Golden Corral up in here, Marmalade. It's looking like a beast real quick. Down 3 from Froyo. You know, they utilize their resources. They got some people in to see if they could try to catch the cell off guard, man.
Yeah, and just a messy situation. Another Soar gun insta-death to level 1 killing a player. But they're going to get out of last, and that's kind of a common trend you see on this. Teams are going to try things. They're going to try more volatile moves just because the time's not in their favor, and no one's figured out a solution to pushing this last. Is a sniper really going to be it? Is there a set sack? Is there an Uber trade? People are still trying to figure it out even after all these seasons. And it looks like the Froyo flank trying to push through this Frog side. Not going to really get anything. Patty bombing in on behind. Going to get traded out. Banny's trying to get another kill off of it.
Nice little rocket from Greg that managed to save his life from Patty. The fake bomb into the real commit onto X player. I've seen that on process a little couple times to know where that was gonna go. But regardless of that fact, yeah, kind of to even add on to what you're saying. Even with Sultry just being this map that is still the newest map to really enter the rotation. You know, even despite all these seasons, still trying to perfect how exactly certain sets should go or how certain moves should be executed is incredibly hard. Or it's incredibly difficult to try to find out what is the definitive set, what is the meta. And I think even still like that, to see it with top teams like the Froyotech and the Cell is really entertaining along that line, man.
Yeah, and I did not think I'd see the Patty sniper. With all the players on this team, that is like the second to last player besides like Laz I'd expect to see. And the sniper is really powerful because it gets to shut down this kind of high ground angle, and it's gonna stop the scouts from denying the bombs as well. But with Patty switching off of Soldier, sacking Laz is gonna be a really, really big commitment, especially with these chokes. But the main job of Sniper is obviously you want to hit the shots, but what it also does is section players off. There goes a body shot onto high five, which is really going to open this up and put a lot of pressure on either the Uber from the cell or for Greg to make a play.
Hey man, with Patty being on Sniper too, hey, I can't doubt, bro. Yet even still, man's got that Valorant aim. Oh yeah, 58 HP though. So, ooh, yeah, Branson with the immediately in, getting the force on the J as well. Oh my goodness. As we see the likes of Froyotech back up, reposition themselves, and getting ready to see if we can push into the second with Ransom on a 12-second spawn, and the likes of the Cell just trying to get everybody healthy and playing back. Marlou, this is not looking too good for the Cell if they're trying to. This may be a situation where they may try to make them use the Uber through second, or Froyotech's just going to get in and they're just going to try to save for last.
Honestly, if I'm Froyo, you have a sniper. Oh, never mind. Your sniper has gone back to switch classes in spawn. And the Cell actually going to push out that high five, causing a big distraction. Soar coming in as the backup. They're going to get Laz down. The 2 players rolling out should clean up these players. But Greg trying to make a move off those players going backwards, can't seem to get anything. And they need to build up to this Uber. Froyo has about a 10-15 second timer before the Uber comes in from the Cell. And they are trying to make something come in really fast. They're going to get onto this cap. Cap time rolling out. Uber popping out. 70% from Jay. The building is not optimal. Raven going to go down. Dingo gonna go down, and it looks like this is gonna be in favor of Froyo.
The damage is monumental coming out from Froyotech, cleaning up the likes of the Cell. Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to say textbook, but utilize the Uber, utilize the situation, got immediately in, got room straight to the point, utilize the Uber to go ahead and just try to clean up anybody who was picked. Dingo being one of the first people to do it, and everything else was pretty much just death ball, man. That was crazy.
And usually if you stand on the point, kills come to you, and they did that. But once again, Habib a little bit faster, Sticky's coming out. There's no fast rollout coming out from either team, really. Kind of a more standard mid, both teams kind of sizing each other up, taking some ground, and it's going to be on either a spam battle or a double bomb coming in. Here comes Patty, here comes Laz. They're going to be going around this tower, trying to get onto someone, and Jay has done a perfect job of kiting out. They're going to trade 2 soldiers for a demo, which is a valuable trade as long as they do not let Habib kill them all.
Very good little cleanup. You know, both the soldiers for the Laz and Patty definitely bombed in, try to see if the likes of Froyotech could go ahead and just push forward. But like you said, along with Jay, very good kite, and immediately into the bomb with high five, hitting the pick onto Habib, starting this on a good round. Banny is behind. It looks like the Star going ahead, trying to chase. The Uber exchange is out. It's going to be a better Uber for the side of the Cell. And it looks like Froyotech is going to, ooh, Banny's just looking at them with no fear in his eyes, as we are starting to see a team fight with both soldiers back up immediately, trying to pitch out this little corner, as we do see high five is going to get picked, but Raven gets the pick on the last as well. Patty is 30 HP, waiting for a bow from Hubba Shubba, and he does manage to get the bow. And it doesn't look like we're seeing the Cell stay in, especially after the Soar gets decimated by Habib Stickies. And at this point, the Cell is currently down 2 with Froyotech getting healthy and about to make their way right in the mid Marmaloo.
Yeah, 3 damage from being an incredible play. Here comes the players from Froyo. A lot of damage onto Patty. He's not going to be able to make much happen. There goes Brand Slam. Patty just going to barely get out. Just kidding. High five cleaning up both those players means we're going to see a push from the side of the Cell, and the Uber isn't quite up. Hubba doesn't have that kind of backup switch. This fade bomb that we've seen back-to-back has been terrible, and Greg's follow-up has not connected, which means you're trading 2 soldiers, and Froyo is going to be pushing mid with a lot less spam coming their way.
Greg, he had the lineup on Hubba. He was about to get the rocket, and then boom, the scaffolding blocked his shot. But they do manage to go ahead and trade these Ubers out, trying to see if we can try to put themselves in a better position for maybe potentially another fight. But as Soar is going to be one of the first to die on this mid as well. They did get their soldier spawn, so it looks like we are seeing the likes of Cell just going to push back, play immediately right onto the second. But just as we say that too, Froyo, I mean, listen, there's not fear in terms of these players. Both of these teams do not fear when it comes to player ad. If they even got the 1 player ad, they definitely want to see if they can try to utilize it in any way, shape, or form, man.
Yeah, and high five instantly getting caught out. He's going to get killed, and the rest of Froyo is going to come flooding in. Greg going to get a counter pick, but it's not quite enough. And the trend you're seeing is Froyo just taking every opportunity and just maximizing it. They get 1 kill, and it turns into an entire point. The 2 scouts on the side of the Cell trying to stall for their spawners. There's 2 seconds till the projectiles. But with that being said, Habib able to sticky the point while Banny's on it. But Banny gets dropped 96%, 98%. There goes Hubba, and it's going to be all on keeping Jay alive and not letting a back cap coming through. But that is a big blunder.
Definitely big blunder. It sucks that you died with 98% Uber, but among the less, man, we did see the Cell. They just stopped it. They just completely stopped Uber and decimation for the entire team. Well done. Well performed. Now we are seeing just, you know, about 85% ad for the side of the Cell as well. And Greg is going to die by the stickies that Habib has led, like a little chicken laying their eggs, as the Uber does get utilized from the choke. And we are seeing the likes of Brand Slam, Patty, and Laz actually going behind and making Cell actually come back for each individual player. Laz still in lobby trying to see if he can get anything with Patty here to help and get damage. And just carnage. Complete and utter carnage from Froyotech. brought everybody back, pinched them forward, clean up, everybody clean up with an 8-second respawn looking for the cell, and Raven and Greg being the only two alive for the side of the cell. And it looks like they're just both gonna just go ahead and get cleaned up by Froyotech, yet again securing round 2 Marmalade.
Yeah, and that Uber was textbook terrible. They pop after losing a player, and then they use the Uber kind of split. Some people go back, some people go forward, and they get 0 people behind, and they get sandwiched in the shutter. They all die, and the mids have been going in the favor of the cell, but everything else has been a landslide in favor of Froyo. So the cell need to connect on another mid. Here comes another high-five fast bomb. A lot of damage onto Habib. The side of Froyo playing towards this lower angle, trying to take that side. A lot of damage from Habib. Gonna net in 2 kills, and the rest of Froyo coming in for some follow-up.
Oh, and just like that too, and it just seems like the aggression from Froyotech is nonetheless oppressive, man. It is absolutely dominant, at least with this mid. Just like you said, hey, like I said, Marmalade, they may be listening to the cast, man. They said, we're gonna get this mid, man.
Yeah, you know, when Habib can just shoot 4 stickies and pipes into your team, you usually lose. So him instantly setting them up, and now we can see, are they going to transition this last push? This is the big thing, big situations you need to transition to if you want to win the game. Last trying to get some spam on this gun. The gun is in more of a sheltered position, but most likely we're going to see a demo scout Uber coming in, focus the gun, get some cap time, and Froyo and Banny are really, really good about focusing that cap.
Definitely, with Habib utilizing the Uber, popping out. Both of the engineer's machinations are immediately gone, just as we saying that too. Uber is looking to fade immediately. Brass Beast for sure, but the point capture from Banny, a lot of point capture to the side, but Brass Beast! It's just the most powerful heavy minigun to ever touch this video game. But Branson and Hubbard do manage to get out, but it's still going to be looking at ad for the side to sell. I hate that gun. I hate the Brass Beast, but I love it too. But I hate that thing.
Yeah, just eventually the end of the fight where the 450 heavy who's just standing there that is going to destroy you is kind of annoying. But the cell actually getting in mid for free. The damage coming out, Jay is going to be forced to pop. They need to get some kills. They're going to get 2, 3 kills. That is a way, way better Uber. And these spawners are not going to come up. So it's going to be 2 scouts and a med. The only worry you could possibly have on the side of the cell is that Froyo is going to play close around this corner with the Uber, but they look like they're leaving.
Now it looks like they're actually playing close around the corner. Junie being the first to go ahead and die within this Ninja Froyotech smoothie maker, man. But just as I said that, I thought it was going to be more of a blender. Everyone else is living. Greg is kind of behind, and it looks like that fighting Habib as of current. Look at this, trying to get the pick. Immediately gets the pick on Habib as well. Greg with a nice little 3K, losing his life to last, but the cell is going to take priority to try to fight, even though they have player disap. Both soldiers bombing the choke, gets cleaned up. Laz dead, so high five Patty as well before securing the pick on the Raven. But Jay still alive, Penny with 9 HP. The dream is secured as he is bundled up cozy with Hubbard. Player ad is just about even, just as I say that there's actually 1 spawn for Froyotech. But very, very hectic fight. Insanely hectic fight, bro. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the scrappy fight kind of netting in nothing happening. We are back in a stalemate. I'm curious to see, are we going to see something funny from High Five? You know, any weapons? No, he looks like he's coming out normal, unfortunately. So we are most likely going to see another terrible fade bomb into a player dying. It is getting absolutely no value. So let's see if they want to rip it again.
And you know, yeah, you might just be right about that too. They about to hit the little SpaceX bomb, man. Let that rocket not destroy itself, man. About to see. Everyone's getting healthy from the side of the cell. You know what? I'm on Greg cam. Unless High Five actually with the long commit, actually right, the double commit, the double force, the resources.
And he gives. You know, if you actually bomb it, it ends up pretty good. And setting the 2 soldiers instead of just 1 kind of distracting did net in that, but this is going to put a lot of pressure on Dingo and Jay and the scouts to really make something. They're down 2 players, but they have an Uber. They need to maximize that, and they've done an incredible job. Froyo really not biting, trying to make anything happen, means the cell can kind of just stand on mid and keep their Uber, get a reset scenario, and push into 2 with ad.
Now, with the cell in the driving seat, specifically driving a 2016 Lamborghini and the Uber charge being utilized from Choke, trying to see if we can get any pick. Laz is going to be probably one of the, just like saying, Habib, beautiful pick for a high five, and Patty getting cleaned up as well. This is perfect for the cell. This is absolutely perfect, but the Uber is close. 50% ad, before 15% before they even get this Uber to even utilize, trying to go ahead and pressure this point, trying to see if we can get any kills. Spray high in the sky. Uber does get utilized, trying to see if he gets the, and Branson gets flashed. Oh my God, perfect flash from Hubba to Shubba, saving his mans from utter destruction. No soldiers for the side of the cell, as we're saying that Vanny is hungry. Vanny and Branson both hungry. Laz and Patty seeming to join the fray. The Froyotech into Blender Smoothie is coming back. Branson gets piped by Judy, but the damage for the soldiers is immense, and it's just an all-you-can-eat buffet in this choke, as both teams have lost 2 players, crucial players for the side of the cell, as well as Dingo is down, along with Raven. No chokes to really solidify down. You got the soldiers to go ahead and spam. Is Froyotech going to respect that, as we are seeing Vanny get some information here? Oh, I thought he was going to go for a little 007 play. It doesn't look like that's the case. We are starting to see the 4 cell members currently on the second point, just staying there with the Uber, keeping it consistent on the loop.
Patty's hiding behind in cheese. The Ubers are going to even out, and Patty's going to really big spot. He can either make or break this. With him, the cell actually trying to take it forward. High Five's going to die. Headshot coming out on Greg, and the perfect collapse is coming in. Patty has a bomb onto the medic. He's going to get on a J, and Dingo with the big air pipe. Going to absolutely nullify that flank.
Man, that was beautiful. Delicious. But another delicious Uber coming out. Oh, but Hubba's not using it. It's not delicious. It's expired.
Yeah, they got food. They got food poisoning. Golden Corral is shutting down after that one.
They cannot harness this energy, bro. They definitely got food poisoning. They are sick for the next 3 days, bro. Oh my God. As we are seeing Froyotech with that full Uber, does get utilized here straight out the door. High Five and Soar is dead actually, and High Five still behind, but Penny want that kill. And Laz looks like he's gonna immediately clean that up. Cell is currently down 3 individuals. High Five with the 20-second respawn. God dang, man. But along that line, Marmalou, they still got ad though. They still got ad, and they'll get the players here soon, man.
They got ad, but they're gonna have to push at the last with 20-30 ad. I don't think they're gonna take the risk. Right now they're already down 2 rounds. If they really want to go for it, it is possible, but so far their big chase Ubers have been so hit or miss. They either go in, get absolutely nothing, or they're gonna get 3 of the kind of soldier players. And it looks like they're gonna come in with this ad. It's built up to 30%, going straight through the shutter, gonna pop in. Bomb coming out. Hubba is actually caught. Hubba is not close enough to Uber. Banning Hubba to have to go forward, and I take it all back. They're going to get the 2 players down. Jay just needs to survive to really optimize this, and everyone is coming in. Habib not going to get Jay. Jay taking no damage until now. Brain Slam getting cleaned up, and that was a beautiful shot.
Now that was not food poisoning. Open the Golden Corral back up, brother. Open that thing back up. We are starting to see, you know, it's some ad. Marmalou, keep it to me in the chat, bro. Would you go off this ad that you looking at for the cell right now?
You go off, but you got to peek at least. Brand Slam being down, we got to see what's going to happen. Ideally, you don't want anyone to die, but peek, see if you get any space, any spam. Against Froyo, they're usually not going to give anything up for free. But with this ad, I feel like you could probably milk it, especially after that last one. I could see Hubba playing a little more passive. But we're going to see the side of the cell going to go through this cheese door, peeking it. A lot of spam coming out. A big bomb from Greg onto the shutter. That should get them this point for free. And he's going to get out. Last getting caught as well. Invalid air shot from High Five. And they've completely turned it around. There is not going to be a gun up. There's going to be down a soldier. This is the best opportunity to send a sack. And High Five has decided to get body shot in the...
Patty with the big old force, getting the juggle off of Raven too. Greg hitting it in, coming from the 40-yard line, but gets intercepted, man, by the stickies from Habib coming with Froyotech. Big Uber, huge Uber. Might I have to say, Dingo putting up some traps, some little defense traps. It looks like Banny and it looks like the rest of Froyotech coming out from the shutter as well. Oh yeah, High Five is on Sniper too as well. Trying to see if he can put himself in position for some type of pick.
I think they should know, but he gets the shot, doesn't hit it, and he's gonna get pressure all the way out. The Uber is coming out, which means this sniper is almost useless. There he goes. Dingo's trying to get out, and the rest of the cell end up getting out scot-free, just losing the sniper, and they're gonna have a 40% ad to work off of now.
40%, 40 burger, and 40 burger with a side of fries, please. Just so we see this too. I mean, kind of what you're saying, but oh wait, hold on. Froyotech want to fight this. They said, screw the ad. I want to see if we can kill these players.
Oh, Patty's
With
coming
Patty,
in.
007 Patty. Gets levitated in the air, but the cell does lose 2. They lost Raven and Greg. Player is one to get 2 contested time. Oh my god. Then Froyotech is down 3, trying to see if we can clean up any kill we can do. Dingo in the air, trying to see if he can separate people from Cheese. Separation completed. Puppeta is disconnected from the rest of his team. Look at that shot on the Habib from high five from the 40-yard line right onto the mid. Puppeta did manage to get out, so it's still going to be monumental ad for the side of Froyotech, but nonetheless, good mechis for the side of the cell. Good kills, as we are starting to see it with no Habib. They are still just kind of, Froyotech's kind of playing this a little slow, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to go ahead and take all of their forces and get aggressive as they can be. Losing Greg as well, not what you want to see, Marmalade.
Oh, and they may be caught out. The really fast push from Froyo, Jake just barely gets out, but these 3 players from Froyo playing that timing is going to force the rest of the cell to get out, and they're going to keep going. 40 or 30% ad now kind of dwindling. But Froyo still want to pull the trigger. They're going to peek at least with Laz, but most likely they're going to reset. But they have turned this mid push into a last push with even Ubers.
We are starting to see a gun. Oh wait, hold up, fast ahead, boy. As Patty is going to get levitated by the gun, lose his life, but Habib gets killed by high five, who just pulled an insane Hitman Absolution assassin mission of some kind. I didn't get to see it. It was too quick. I just saw bro hopped out the window. He hopped out the hoopty, and right now it looks like the cell is coming in, driving with that stick, and looking like they want to see if they can get a pick. Last making some room, a little bit low, but it's still going to keep this cool, and it's actually going to lose his life to Soar as well. Froyotech, Grand Slam, Bandy, and Hubbard want to just see if they can try to contest a little bit, but no soldiers, not too much space. They're going to go ahead and retreat back in the choke. They managed to solidify the second point, Marmalou, but now both teams have Uber. We know, we've seen where Froyotech has utilized the resources, especially if they want to go ahead and push it to the second. How will they anticipate? What will we see from the cell, man?
Yeah, that's the 2 sides of the Beep coin. Is his confidence is so high, it either transitions him to getting a massive play or a massive feed and then blaming the other team for making a mistake of killing him, which, you know, it happens sometimes. But right now, gonna transition Patty with a kind of bomb into the shutter, and they get high five down right there.
Patty is behind on another secret mission, trying to see if he can put himself in position to pinch, as we do see the bomb right on the J with the utilization. Gets cleaned up by Greg, but the Uber does come out from the cell. They managed to clean up 2, but Froyotech, even with the player disad, are still going to commit because they have Uber and the dream is looking alive, as Jay and Raven are going to be the first 2 to go ahead and get picked. Sword trying his best to do a 4v1, but it's going to be too much when you have even the rest shooting you. Branson getting the kill on the Greg and Cheese as well, and it is looking bad. It's looking terrible for the cell. It's looking great if you're a Froyotech fan, though. Absolutely.
You know, historically, things have always looked good for the Froyo fans until a couple times, but right now they're in a dominant position, 40% ad. They get another soldier kill, but the health is pretty bad on the rest of Froyo. This may transition to just going off this high five pick. Banny trying to take some ground. Greg with a big bomb. The saddest thing is, even if this push doesn't work, they have the Uber ad, but there is so much cap time and damage. 3 players up, they're also weak, and the Uber is going to tick up any second now. Habib with the kill, 3 players still up, Uber coming out. They need to clean up these kills. There's not going to be any spawners. Hubbard is going on the point, but the death is going to open up the cap for everybody else.
The soldiers, Laz counted, it looked like Laz had 3 to 4 people look at him when he did a little fake bomb to real bomb commit on the J in that tiny little corner to just go ahead and then just clean up everybody else with damage. That was a movie. I felt like I just watched Interstellar for the first time. That was crazy.
Yeah, Laz just in space on that bomb. But with this, another standard bit, Habib taking a lot of ground. A double bomb going to come out. I like this change of pace. They're going to catch players, but they're split up. They get Habib down again. Without another kill, it's going to be in favor of Froyo. They're going to have a lot of this ground. Junie or Dingo, in a powerful spot, but Laz is just absolutely destroying him, so it does not matter.
And it looks like Sword and Jay. Oh, hold up. MGE 2v2. This is what you want to see. Sword versus Jay. How does this end up with Jay being low, Benny being low, Benny going ahead and getting this pistol on the Jay. But Jay is a loyal, and Sword is cleaning up. Sword is cleaning up. Give me this man's alive. Jay is immortal with a beam. Coming in, getting the sticky on the Jay from Cheese. Oh my God. From the midpoint three-pointer from Habib. Call him Habib Curry. Oh my goodness, what just happened, bro? Oh, Marbaloo, what just happened, bro?
You know, they had so much happiness. Jay just like, oh my gosh, Banny just shot me for a minute. And then it doesn't matter because Habib just triple stickies, just does all the jumps into mid and gets the drop. But with that being said, we're going to have a Raven Spy. Going to try and play off this timing nice and quick. Hopefully catch off the med when they're not expecting it. But do we see a pause here?
Oh, it is. First pause of the game.
Hopefully, imagine it's tech, but hopefully it's nothing too bad. You know, none of the important classes going out of business. Maybe, you know, Froyo lose a round, they pause. You know, one can hope. Raven comes in, gets a 6 stab, and then we get a more interesting push here.
Oh, and it's just like that. If it's a simple pause like that, yeah, we don't know how exactly we go. Oh my God, hold up, this dude's cosmetic set is ugly. Greg says is dookie. Oh my Lord. But regardless, all right.
You don't like the little like hamster floating above him or whatever that is?
Dude, it's lime green, bro.
It's kind of matte. He's trying to match at least. I think he's a little colorblind, but he's trying.
Lime green hamster. Lime green color in this game is the worst color ever. Facts. Worst color ever.
Someone saying Shrek, you know, that's not too far off.
That's not, but Shrek don't got a cape though. That's the thing. He's not a caped crusader. It just looks like a booger. He's got a booger following him, bro. Oh my. But regardless, in your talk with me, Mar. Talk with me. If along this line, what do you think the expectation is until someone lets us know what's going on? What do you think essentially has happened here? One could hope for sure.
Almost. Oh, never mind. Nothing has happened. We're gonna see. What I think happened is that it all works out in the end, and now we're gonna see a Raven Spy coming in.
Yeah, he's working his magic here. Just hope we see that too. Trying to see if he can make some movement along that line. Trying to see exactly what Mans can do. Here's Mans. Oh,
he's in a really good spot. The Spy. I don't think they're gonna see it coming at all. Hubba has not turned around once. It's kind of a really good timing. Both teams waiting for the Uber coming. The Spy's coming in. Did he get the med down? And he's gonna live. This is gonna be a big test on if they can handle the Froyo all-out kind of aggression. Brandslam instantly sending it into the flank. The rest of the cell in this cheese door, Jay is gonna be baiting for a long time, waiting for players. But Froyo actually opting to kind of play a lot more passive. Raven gonna cap the point with his pistol. But you know, the Spy's very powerful in this situation. You're going to be fighting, you have to deal with an Uber, and then a Spy might decloak, stab a heavy, or just be kind of scary to think about all the time.
Uber out from basement 2, immediately getting onto the gun as well. High five, getting the solidified kill on. Greg lost his life as well. Laz is still in the bottom. Wait, but Raven with his pistol. Raven with the pistol. Brandslam on heavy. Laz trying to come back, but Storm went ahead and popped him out, and he's doing it again. Oh, Brandslam has to turn around. But the stab yet again from Raven as the pistol with sword. Just cleaning up. Theory, any spy who rocks default set, normal butter knife, always gets the kill. If you use anything else,
you're cold if you're rocking just like flat playing everything, you know. Either you're actually a fresh install or you know what you're doing.
It's beautiful. But that was nice. So they managed to get the kill on the Hubba, and from there they just kind of managed to have the Froyo domino effect essentially. But it took some time. It wasn't just an immediate domino effect, especially because we see. Especially with, you know, new mid in the air. Habib get picked up again with the high five fast bomb as well. Bro is hitting these things. He's been practicing the tech. Ransom trying to escape with his life, fighting the Chiefs, losing his life as well, Marmaloo. It looks like the cell is deciding to come back, bro.
Yeah, 2 players down. They need to take this point. If they do not take it, this is just the biggest missed opportunity. They're going to get the cap on mid, and they're going to get on second. And Habib just notoriously gets a little greedy. He's on the mids that he's able to stand there. He just gets an extra like 100, 200 damage off the bat. But as a trade-off, he is sacrificing all his high five. What happened to Patty?
Greg got through the door and doubled Greg, Greg got through the door. Patty double air shot, bro, and then Greg didn't die and just killed Patty because everyone else just peeked out. Froyotech with the player at sniper. What? Brand Slam immediately on sniper as well, seeing if he can do something for his team, but is immediately looking like he's gonna switch back. Froyotech is immediately backing up, and they're gonna play this last probably.
You know, I'm curious to see if we'll see the tech. I remember at some point, I think it was either Artist or someone where the demo just high bombs over the wall to shoot the gun, but that was when lock and load was being used like crazy. But with this, we got 3 minutes left, and it looks like we are going to hit that continuous overtime, which means the win limit is 4. Whoever gets to 4 rounds first will win the entire game. But as this clock ticks, this is a very good situation that the cell cannot mess up here.
Oh, my prediction, it's gone. My 5-4, bro.
It could be a 4-3.
It could be a 4-3. Absolutely. It could absolutely be a 4-3. But my 5-4, bro, I can't believe it. Until we seen the two. And it looks like at this point we are just kind of seeing. Ooh, wait, Brand Slam, I forgot. Brand Slam is still on sniper. I'm on his cam. I'm just trying to see what kind of picks can come to fruition, Marmaloo. Like it just kind of seems like they're holding this thing down aggressively, man.
Yeah, we got the High Five Battalion's backup. If you don't know what that does, it basically just gives you like a mini Uber damage resistance, but it takes like 800 damage to charge up, and he is not doing any damage. He's taking a lot of damage, and there goes Greg, and the casual Greg High Five double sack has come in. In the past, it usually gets a force, but this time it gets nothing, and it's going to net in a push out from Froyo. And Brand Slam is going to walk all the way up, while the rest of the cell actually going through the shutter. We're gonna get on the last pick coming in.
Oh, Bracelet dies as well to Judy, and they did utilize their Uber into lobby. Raven is behind taking the fight against Patty, but Patty is gonna be the one to win that as well. It looks like Froyo did manage to keep that Uber regardless of all that. I saw the vision. Overwhelm and attack. The thing about overwhelm and attack is you gotta all do it. You gotta all have it together. It's gotta be one of one. Greg losing his life as well. And
they're just a duo. They go together. It's so romantic. You know, one goes down, the other does too. And unfortunately, not going to net in some success on this time around. But the Uber ad coming up, this may be a little deceptive. Actually, they're going to send it straight in. Habib walking it through the choke, Hubada walking through the choke. They're getting this for free. Froyo just recognizes some weakness, and they just hold the W key to get mid 4 free off that.
Raven is, never mind. I was gonna say Raven sniper. It could be something a little stinky secret, you know what I'm saying? But we are gonna see both teams have Uber. It is gonna be Cell second. So now we have to kind of see the same thing with Froyotech, where they're gonna try to utilize the resources. And just as we're saying that, Laz, Bandy, and Hubada are getting through cheese with the Patty bombing from choke, trying to just get position and Sword eating the schmack, doing the damage. Brand Slam 29 HP and Frog, but he's gonna also live as he was taking a duel with Greg. Patty in the behind, getting picked off by Sword. Wait, Laz also in lobby, getting the pick on the high five as well. 30 HP. Sword heard that. He definitely called that, as they are going to go ahead and clean him up as well. Communication looking excellent. Inside of both teams, excellent. Soldier took this. I'll clean you up. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. With Sword also in cheese. Hold up. Wait a second.
Greg jumping through choke, catching a trap, gonna die. And the counter sack coming in, and the kill onto Brand Slam from Junie is going to equalize that. And we might see a play coming out on someone from the cell, but High Five not quite here. So Habib overextended. Damage coming out of both. He's going to save him. But Habib goes down to Soar.
Nah, that's what you got to do. You see aggression, you call it, you check it. You do what you gotta do. With the Uber exchange actually coming out from Froyo right into the choke, Uber is gonna be a lot better for the side of Cell. They don't have to turn this into a family Uber. Everyone's being kept alive. Last is gonna be one of the few to die. Patty trying to clean up. Andy dies as well. Patty thinking kill on Jay. And at this point now, it is a 4v3. The Cell are looking to see if they can go all out. High Five and Dingo specifically. Brand Slam, 25 HP, trying to get his medic out. Managed to get a Ryu nice with Habib, locking it down against Raven. You are not getting my guy. I am keeping him alive, is what he said. High Five, trying to see if he can get a little bit of damage, just trying to see if he can peek, get a little bit of information as they do, man. Oh my God, Marmaloo, this is crazy, dude.
You know, honestly, them not getting mid is a pretty good situation. This gives them the opportunity to go for a back cap. Just kidding, there goes Soar with a chip shot, so most likely the back cap dream is dead. and the Froyo taking second one is getting more and more alive. We got 30% ad on the side of Froyo, and High Five's gonna try and commit. He ends up leaving through the shutter, which unfortunately is the door Froyo has chose, but he has barely slipped out through the dungeon. Once again, Froyo doing a really good job with their time management. They are now in a position with Uber just ticking up. 20% ad as it's dwindling. They need to go now if they want to go at all.
And just as you say that, they immediately put that thing up into gas pedal, fifth gear, fourth gear. It's changing all throughout. Double bomb on the J. Patty gets cleaned up along with Glass, and Froyotech is looking to just go ahead and escape. They do not want to be caught with the Uber, but Greg and Co. Bandy trying to see if he can get this going to Greg. But the likely, and exactly was what happened. Branson actually gets the kill. Bandy and Co. are in. Jay gets cleaned up, and it's just then my man coming to the sushi restaurant. He going ahead and getting himself a little dim sum, because Froyotech said they dim sum because they knew some with the pick all up into the pit. Olive Garden, unlimited bread, sticks. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you know, Habib does that. Habib, you walk into Habib, he kills you all. And overall, a really good showing from Froyo, but the cell not falling over, really showing that they are a real team, but Froyo might be a little more real.
That was, yeah, definitely insane, dude. Especially from literally how that was happening. Like, you know, we'll put it like this. I don't think the cell was playing absolutely abysmal. To me, it just kind of seemed like Froyotech was utilizing resources in different places where the cell just it looked like cell at certain points was kind of playing textbook. Maybe not the mids. They were definitely looking solid in a lot of these mids, but it just seemed like in terms of transition, not even just transitions, but it looked like in terms of trying to make something out of nothing, excuse me. It just kind of seemed like they were playing more textbook along that line, at least in my opinion. Certain things they tried, it worked. They tried to do it again. Froyotech adapted, and then along that line, it was just blender along that line, man.
Yeah, and Froyo looking really good. But the mids from the cell, yeah, looking really good. Really killing Habib a lot. But overall, Froyo just looking like Froyo, very clean. They take an advantage. The cell getting a little too aggro, losing 2 players, and Froyo completely converts the scenario into taking a point or 2 off of it, which is why they are the only undefeated team at the moment in this season.
Looking at these logs too, man. I mean, listen. The damage was there. It wasn't like a crazy roll as some people would think they'd be. The damage was absolutely there. Monument. What these logs tell you, Marm? What they tell you from just a glimpse?
The logs tell me that with the scoreline and how we watched the game, Froyo was by far just a dominant team throughout the entire game. Besides the mids, everything else they were just running it entirely. Just watching the game, also, Jay had so much pressure on him the entire game. He did the best he could, but still, with that being said, Hubada with a very clean game. 5 deaths in total. That being said, probably a good amount of them were directly from the mids. But overall, a lot of the playmakers, Laz, Patty, Brandslam, making the game a lot easier for Banny and Habib, who, if you make the game easy for them, the game's easy, as in you will just win. But I don't think anyone on Froyo really was at any point uncomfortable, besides Habib a couple times getting a little too aggressive.
And all throughout that, man, too. It's insane the way these logs be looking, man. Spread was kind of crazy too along that line, man.
Danny with 22-8, he's alive, so is Hubada. That's kind of the relationship there.
Hey, Pocket Scouts gotta lock in, man. Gotta be buddy with your mid, bro. Gotta be rocking like him, putting out damage like him. But I just saw that, man. This was still a fire game, because despite the scoreline, they were still putting up impeccable numbers. Especially this dude Soar, bro, with 27, bro, putting up almost 30 burgers up in this joint. Oh my god!
While losing. So he's definitely doing his part, and the rest of the team, I don't think anyone on either team really was slumping. So everyone playing their part, but right now Froyo is the better team for today. And another match kind of wrapped up there.
Said too, because I'm pretty sure this is one of the odder games this week as well. I can't remember off the top of my dome. amongst
I think
another
there's
match.
Froyo Franz J.
Yeah.
Recall correctly, which that is tomorrow at 10:30. Which right now that is the if I'm not mistaken, the one and the actually Franz J is not the 2 seed, but I think right now Franz J, with the recent results versus G6, looking like the potential 2 seed leading into this playoffs, the second best team, and this will really be a real test once again to see how they can pair up against Froyo the second time around.
Looking at some nice. I'm really excited to see how Jiminy and Franz J, especially because from Franz J games versus like G6 a couple times, it's been pretty solid all the way around too. So I'm really excited to see how some of these, especially tomorrow. Oh, I'm excited to see that game. About to pop that up on my TV, man. Go crazy.
Definitely an exciting season, and we're getting closer to the playoffs. You know, gonna be excited to see all these teams going at it over a weekend, and should be really a preview for a couple of these teams going to LAN, with it being more of an international one, seeing if they can step it up, represent North America.
Shout out to NA. You know what I'm saying? Better than EU, better than AU. I'm gonna say it. Shout out NA. You know how it go. But with that being said, Marm, especially because these games tomorrow, this game, man. Do you have any particular shout outs or anything like that, bro?
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you, Dolphin. Shout out to my girlfriend. You know, everyone in the chat, as I said. But shout out to all the teams in Invite this season.
And appreciate you letting me cast with a legend like yourself. Come on now. If I had like a clapping soundboard, I absolutely would play it. I probably play that thing 10 times. Let's be real. But you know, respect the Dolphin for always on production, always making these games look sexy. Oh my goodness, always making this thing look sexy. Shout out to chat, y'all for watching. Both these teams, Invite, North America, and Chalk. Shout out Chalk. I love Chalk so much.
Shout out to Doctor Underscore. I think he was the one who fixed all the HUDs after the another update broke everything. So, you know, getting that back together. A couple of those games looking rough, and we are back to pristine production.
Shout out to Doctor Underscore, Doctor Goat, Doctor All Powerful Entity. Already know how my mans be rolling. But listen, that being said, y'all, this has been RGL. Please catch us tomorrow at February 27th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another action-packed game with Franz J and Froyotech. Have a good night. Salutations. Good Wednesday.